Hey, glad you could make it, because today we are playing more Age of Engineering. Nobody's moved to Sag Mills recently. I guess I'll have to take care of that. There's some tables set up here because Dragonracer has been wanting flight for quite some time. Not happy with gliding, wants flight. And I understand. I see how it is. To do that, we need the elytra. And if y'all remember correctly, I have hidden that in a personal ender pouch. I no longer have to go to a secret location to do that anymore. And I don't have to worry about people taking my stuff.
What?
Because it is a diamond-plated ender chest, even if they find it. So, they open it, they're not going to see my stuff. Alright, so we take the elytra and we stick it in this station right here with the iron item casings, the electronic circuits, the universal fluid cell, and the redstone, and we get a jetpack and an unused elytra. Yay! Now I'm guessing we take that same jetpack and stick it over in this crafting station with very similar stuff, just bat box, advanced circuit, and glowstone circuit. Or glowstone dust, glowstone circuits. That's something that we need. You have to have the fuel to pull out the electric jetpack? It doesn't say I do. Let's find out. Nope. It gave it to me. Alright, what's this recipe? This is conductive iron thrusters. What are those for? Okay. Goes in the next table. Take the iron thruster, put it with some conductive iron, the basic capacitor. Place that there, and you get the conductive iron jetpack. Yay! Alright, is there any more steps that we're doing today? Dragonracer's not on voice with us, by the way. Still want to know what the little question mark badges are. And while I'm waiting for him to tell me what we need to do next, I'm going to place the elytra away. I need to get the vibrant tier together, and then I can make the environmental controller. Okay. What's the environmental controller for? Environmental controller. So we're going to have one environmental controller per person with the flight module going on?
Apparently.
Yeah, I knew we needed one per person. Ink sacks, gold, and redstone are just fine. Syringe with gas might be a little irritating. But, I see it's quite easy to make all of the other things, except we need nether stars for the beacons. Why do we need the upgrade to the solar? Now I'm confused.
Because it requires a lot of
power. Let's see. Requires 0.004 RF per tick per cubic block. Oh, yeah. I guess that does require power. I'm just trying to figure out the jetpacks at this point, because they don't even look like they're part of the recipe.
I think they're used to make the module, the flight module.
No.
Oh.
Unless something tells me that there's something tells me something is weird in my JEI, possibly, because I'm looking at the flight module and it is the regular recipe of gassed gold ingot, 2 redstone, and an ink sac.
Yeah, same.
I wonder if that recipe got broken in the... I don't know. Because something tells me that it did require the jetpack. I remember seeing that somewhere. Yours shows vibrant jetpack for the flight module. Okay, let me type in flight module and see if that... I see flight modifier for environmental tech. That's what you were talking about. You're talking about the one for the environmental tech. Okay.
Yeah, us Egypts were looking at RF tools.
Well, that's because that's where... the environmental controller that was mentioned is RF tools. And how come we can't use that one with the flight module? Nanobot controller. Still requires Dragon's Breath and Beacon. Did we get Dragon's Breath whenever we killed the dragon? I can't remember.
Yeah, I nearly got a whole stack. I was running around with bottles going, I need this! I need this!
Okay. And what tier of nanobot beacon controller do we need to make the flight work? Oh, we have some beacons already. Did those come from
Calculator?
Yeah, they can come from the analyzing chamber. Cool. But what tier of nanobot? Just the one that requires 4 modifiers is good. Okay, well, I don't know which one that is. So I would need to look in my book.
Oh dear.
I have to look in the book.
Dragon!
Okay, so tier 1 is fine.
Got a problem.
What's the problem?
We have tons of calculators flooding into the storage module. And they're taking up individual stack spaces.
Why is this happening?
I don't know.
Did you do it?
I didn't do it.
That makes it sound like you did do it.
I didn't, I swear.
Oh, okay. Are you moving all of the calculator stuff? Alright, so y'all are seeing what is going on. I thought we were working towards personal flight along the lines of like the rings and stuff, but no, we are working towards personal flight along the nanobot beacon controllers route.
For them, well, have you seen the recipe on the rings?
Yes, I have seen the recipe on the rings. Recipe on the rings requires age 13, dark solarium jetpacks, which is not easy. Ender stars. So why would he still leave the nanobot beacons available? Because that recipe doesn't look any different from the vanilla one. Like the regular environmental tech recipe. The beacon is part of it. The modifier cores, brewing stands, even Dragon's Breath, I think, are all part of the original nanobot beacon controller. Makes me think that the modpack developer missed something somehow. The modifiers have been messed with.
Oh, yeah.
The flight modifier. Is that what you need, is the flight modifiers?
Yeah, 4 of those per nanobot.
Okay, so you'd need 4 vibrant jetpacks, which we're not really that far from after the one we just made. It's just going to require a lot of resources. Launchers are normal recipe. Modifier cores are normal recipe. You just need 1 flight modifier per beacon. Oh, well, that's still not that bad, because and you get the jetpack back.
Dragon knows more than I do. I've been messing with other bits.
So the nanobot beacons are just as good as the angel rings. Except you don't have to worry about losing it. So yeah, I guess the RF is the limiting factor there, because angel rings don't really use that much grid power. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put the jetpack in the system so you can upgrade it at your heart's desire. So now you know that we are working towards flight. I'm not going to worry about upgrading the jetpack on camera, because you saw that all of that stuff is stuff we've already done. It's just resource heavy. So we'll have the jetpack, and then I will probably bring y'all back into the fold of the flight quest once we get to the point to where we can make the beacon and power it. I'm guessing maybe what, a solar panel per beacon would probably be good. Like a tier 2 per beacon should probably cover the cost of the beacon. I may be wrong.
Depends. Because a tier 2 produces 4,000 RF per tick, depending on how much we need.
Right, yeah, it depends on how much RF we're gonna need for the nanobot. So if a tier 2 won't work, then we can, we can tier it up until we can at least get to tier 3 now. And that should be enough. If that's not enough, then we'll have to wait a little bit to have the power. And then what we can do is just make sure that we put like a vibrant capacitor between it and the beacon, so we can
what, with a monitor or something?
Yeah, just something to keep an eye on it, and also to to hold on to some energy, because we probably will not want to connect that to the regular energy system, so that way if the regular energy system runs out of juice, we don't all suddenly start falling to our death. And these kind of things can happen, so keeping the power systems separate for each of the beacons would probably be a good idea. One tier 4 should handle all of us. No, like I said, every beacon should have its own power source, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, I very much agree with Saf at that point, because no one should be falling to their death. So if someone does, it's their own fault.
So if a tier 4 is plenty for everybody on the server, then a tier 3 per person should be just fine.
Oh yeah.
Even a tier, like I said, I think a tier 2 will work. Normally, the way I have noticed it with environmental tech is that the tier of the thing is normally covered by the same tier of solar. So if we're using a nanotech tier 1, a tier 1 solar should work, but since it is more advanced in what it does, I think a tier 2 should at least work.
Well, we can experiment when we get to that stage.
Yep, but it's not that much further. Not from what I'm seeing. A lot of that stuff is easy to make, especially now that we've got, let's see, how much mica do we have in the system now? 732. So we have resources. That's not an issue. I mean, we've got 1,053 diamonds. Yeah, we're doing good on resources. The only thing that we're lacking is nether stars, and even that won't be as much of an issue once Delcar reaches that point in the bees.
Well, it's also the production of the solar cells. They're a nightmare. It's kind of why I want to get the replicator up.
You're talking about the solar cells from Environmental Tech?
Mm-hmm.
The octadic capacitors and the photovoltaic cells are not that hard. It's mostly the octadic capacitors that are a pain.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about. It's a lot of... It's doable. It's tedium. I think it is more.
Right. Understood. And it's mostly because of the things like having to throw the thermionic fabricator into it and then the empowerer for the Restonia crystals. It's basically the basic capacitors, the pain in the butt.
Yeah, which is why I want to get this set up for...
Because I believe there are, let me see. I know there are. So let me go, I guess, quote unquote, cheat for a second. I am going to go open the folder for Age of Engineering. And in the configs for the, let's see, the replicator is what, IC2?
Yes.
IC2.
The replicator will have a basic will have the ability to store a pattern for the basic capacitor, but it won't go any for the octadic or the double.
Right, but there are specific custom recipes for those added to the replicator for this pack, which means they're going to be somewhere in the configs, somewhere. I just got to look it up. I mean, it's probably hiding in the actual, other things. I'll have to go look. I remember Direwolf 20 looking it all up and seeing that there was specific recipes for different things. And I don't think he ever checked to see everything that had a specific recipe, because the ones that had specific recipes for this pack, it was a little bit different. And what I mean by that is normally this pack is about making things tougher to do. In those particular cases, it was easier to do. Like the basic capacitors take a lot less power and time than they would have normally if you did it the vanilla way. And he made special, well, not him, but the modpack developer made special recipes for certain items to do that. So that way, once we got to the replicator, or whatever it is, it'd make a lot of the things we do a whole lot easier. So I think between episodes, I'm going to go ahead and look up that information. And that is one of my lists, right? That's the... No. Is it the replicator that would be using? Yes.
Replicator, mass fab, and the recyclers.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Which all uses EU. Yeah. It's one of the things that one of the other things that irritates me about this pack is the multiple power usages. Because mech, the only way to use mech is by using joules from mech. So, all right, that is going to be it for this episode. So we've talked about flight. We've talked about how you will probably see us a whole lot closer to it within a few episodes. So expect to see you know, jetpacks upgraded and things like that. And then we will, yeah, don't know what we're doing for next episode, but that's what you know about for this episode, and that we are also heading towards things like wither killing. I don't think we're worried about the advanced generators anymore. We also need to work towards Chrome for age 11. Since we're already at age 10, I figure we could start working towards age 11 while we're doing everything else. So, iridium, wither killing, chrome ingots, these are kind of things we'll be working towards. So thanks in advance for the thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. I've been Saf.
I've been Phoenix.
Dragonracer's been silent. And you've been jetpacked.